Hey, Black Barn Social Club, God bless America, talking boots. In the last video, I did a top 5, and I talked about some stuff that was coming, and I talked about how I chose not to include a few things in it. I wasn't waiting on this because I know that you know, again, in the game of content, you know, I'll just make another top 5 list because I'm sure that these boots are going to land in them. Gabe sent me this email, and he had found these on eBay, and it's kind of funny. He sent me these boots, and he said, "Hey, did you see these?" Because it's a '79 last Upland in olive waxed flesh. He said, "Hey, did you see these?" And so I got to looking at them, and I noticed the background of the photos. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. You've seen enough of my boot pictures that you start to get familiar with the background. And I recognized the guy because I'd bought, is that right? I'd purchased 3 other pair of boots from him. And so it's just one of those cats that keeps getting pretty nice made-to-order boots and then choosing not to keep them for whatever reason. So I reached out to him and I purchased them. These, if you again, what a good-looking pair of boots. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm a Truman fanboy now. It's just getting out of control. These Uplands in olive waxed flesh. So the '79 normal cap toes that were in my top 5, I chose the olive waxed because I said this color it's unique. It brings me out of my comfort zone. It's not a neutral. It's not a tan. It's not a brown variant. It just, and when the sun hits it, it's so unique. It's so gorgeous, and it really is that olive color that, you know, again, I don't know how they nailed it like they nailed it, but that's what it turns into when the light hits it just right. Now, I won't go into all the things about a Truman boot that I like. I mean, this is just a gorgeous example of a Truman boot. You guys know what you're getting there. This looks like a flat Goodyear welt, gorgeous contrast on the midsole and the heel stack. Everything works. This isn't because it was made to order from this gentleman, and mind you cannot. I mean, there's not been a foot in this boot. If he tried it on, I mean, it's like Houdini, because he just, I can't see that he ever put his foot into it. I just don't understand. I don't understand how that happens. I mean, at least when you're buying my boots that I'm selling, you can tell that I've put them on a few times. You can tell that I've used them. Maybe I've made videos and worn them for a month or so. But in this case, they just look like they've never been touched. The box came like it had never been touched. Outside of the photos that he took to list them, I can't tell that they've ever been touched. '79 last works for me. You know it does. It's this is an 11.5. So when you're buying used, that's the thing that you're doing. You are, I bounce between 11.5 and an 11 on the '79s. It's, I've said it before, it's the difference between me wearing a boot sock and me wearing like a thin sock. And I can go either way. I mean, and on the '79 last, there's plenty of room for me to be able to choke down on the laces and make these fit me comfortably. And that's something I noticed, by the way. When I'm looking online and I'm seeing folks, when I'm looking online and I'm seeing folks lace up their boots, which again, maybe that's a little creepy, but y'all know how it is. You're looking at these photos and you're seeing these still shots of people in their boots. What I notice is that there are a lot of people that are trying to touch these, they're trying to touch these things. And so, their eyelets are a half inch apart and they're cinched down so tight. I don't do that. I mean, what you're seeing here is about how they look like on my feet. That spread, probably because I got a bigger foot and a high instep. But the cool part about me when I do go to a 11 and a half is I've got room to lace them together. So I don't know why I'm talking about that. It's common sense. But what the people that worry about this being too voluminous, you can take that up with the laces. Now, it doesn't help you if the bottom of your foot's sliding around, but you can cinch down and lock down on it. Quality on these is again, it's par for Truman. They did hashtag Metal Boot Guy. They did include all the eyelets and they are where they're supposed to be. On both of them. I kid, if you'll go watch Metal Boot Guy, and you should, he was an unlucky recipient. One, he's one of the people that's turned me on to the Upland boot, but he was unlucky in that Truman had missed putting an eyelet in one of his boots, and of course they've made it right. But if you're looking at the back of the boot, it's a two-piece heel counter and heel stay or back piece, whatever they call all that stuff. But there it is. There's the heavy lug. That's the why. If you're asking me why I have this boot, I tend to actually prefer the lower boots, the 6-inch varieties. But that heavy lug sole, I mean that's why I'm here. That's why I've got this boot. I've been trying to get those heavy lugs more and more. And I'm really excited that this new offering they're talking about coming this coming week or two is going to have it. That 20 last mock toe with a heavy lug. That's coming home too. So if I'm lucky enough to hit their system just right. So olive waxed. I mean, it's a Horween tannery. What I'm noticing about this boot, plain toe. I don't know if I want to call it I don't think it's an unstructured toe, but I can press it. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to, because I didn't make it myself, I'm not sure. But I can tend to, I don't know, I can feel a little bit of give there. I don't want to overdo it, but I had just mentioned on that, it does not look like the unstructured toe on that Coyote rough out, and so I think there is something there, but it's like I said, if you tried hard enough, you could dimple that. Both of these boots are in amazing shape and amazing condition. I love the olive wax flesh. I love wax flesh period because the way it wears. If you go find some good old shots of used and busted waxed flesh boots, I mean, they're gorgeous. And so I can only imagine what this olive wax flesh is going to do when you got some time under it. Now, I mentioned that other pair of Coyote rough out Uplands and this pair. Now, that pair, the leather on it was a little bit thinner. They called it their military spec leather, and because they didn't describe it like Truman typically does. Truman will typically say 6-ounce leathers. On that boot, they just said mil spec. So I'm making the assumption that it's a little bit thinner because it did feel like it gave a little bit more. Now, let me turn it around and say something different. This feels a little thicker. I mean, because this was a 2023 boot, I think the gentleman said, and I am looking at it all over. This is a thick boot. I mean, there's some thick, when they double up on the collar and all the way down the laces. I mean, there's damn near 1/4 of an inch of leather around your leg and coming down those laces. So, I mean, it's just a chunky, thick boot. Now, like I said, there's no give in this. So this is going to take some break-in, I can tell, and I'm here for it. So this was super excited to see these online, see these come in. Again, I can't even speculate why folks sell them in such pristine condition. And it must be, I don't know if we're, I mean, again, I hope this isn't offending anybody, but I don't know if we're gaming the loyalty system, if we're just going out there and charging up, $4, $5, $6 grand worth of boots, and then in your mind thinking, I'll get it back, or I'll sell them, or I'll get that discount and then I'll sell them, and then that just means I'll get cheap boots for life. I don't know, but as many boots as I've bought from Truman directly, I'm not getting a good enough deal to be able to make money on the sale, and I'm not getting a good enough deal to be able to break even. Those double shot ox bloods. I mean, I'm doing good to not lose too much on them. I mean, so when you buy a boot and you hope to keep it, and then you choose not to, I'm just under the impression that you're giving away. I mean, I'm losing money as the point I'm trying to make. I'm not usually making money on a pair of boots. It just doesn't work that way for me. If you're one of those people, congratulations, you got the touch. But so anyway, I say all that to say, I don't know why there's a brand new pair of boots in my hands, but I am tickled to death that there is. I am glad for folks like this that keep these things pristine and then allow me a shot at them, because, gosh. And then you typically, when you find something this nice, it lands in your box or on your doorstep a little bit quicker than the factories do. Certainly with the nicks and all those longer lead boots. So anyway, I'm so thrilled. I've still got a couple more coming this week. I'm probably going to space these videos out a little bit, just because I am trying to grow the channel, but I don't want to, quite frankly, I don't want to blow my wad all in the same week. I don't want to do 4 talking boot videos in the same week. So give me some space, and I'll keep putting some stuff out there. But God, these are just so good looking. Tan stitching, leather laces. These are going to stay. I'm not changing those. And there's the obnoxious Truman logo. I say that tongue in cheek. It does not bother me, y'all. I mean, it really doesn't. I know some of you guys it bothers. And I respect that too. I think one of the comments I had made, what bothers me about, brands is when they put the writing all over this and all over this. In other words, if I could look down and see it and I'm a walking advertisement, literally, that would bother me. But leaving a shoe print in the mud, I'm not, I think I said in that comment, I'm not looking behind me when I walk. So to me, this is, I get it, that's probably obnoxious to some, but it doesn't bother me. The money shot that I see is this side profile. When I see that thick, heavy lug touching, in this case, touching concrete or whatever, that's attractive to me. Even more so, and I'm being honest, even I know that the Commando lugs have a better, I know they're better in office environments and in meetings and things like that, because they don't strike you as a work boot or a combat boot, and that's kind of what these hit you as. But I'm not going to lie, in my opinion, I'm okay with that, and I'd be okay with that given my line of work. I'd be okay with that in a meeting. I wouldn't, nobody's going to look down and judge me if they see a boot this sexy and they see the lugs. So for me, that's money. It looks good. It may, this boot would allow me to bump that other waxed flesh version of Variety out of the top 5, and I would argue immediately that this one would land there, just because it does two things. It is the Upland, and I am a fan of the sole and the little bit higher leather. This one does not have the pull tabs, so there's going to be nothing there to interfere with pants and jeans and things like that. So, and it checks the box of that unique waxed flesh that's going to just patina over time and break in like a champ. Cap toe, I mean, not a cap toe, so it's just a clean toe. I mean, my gosh. Are you guys getting that? Is it just me that gets the fizz off of something like this? This is sexy. I think I think Gabe, EDH Boulevard, you know who he is. He had mentioned wanting to see an Upland version of a 56 boot with a heavy lug. If they do something like that, I'm going to be honest with you. I'd get it. I would. But I'm not 100% sure I would know how to, do I want that on a dress boot, or would it change everything? Would the matrix tumble? And who knows? But I'd get it. So Truman, if you're listening, Gabe asked for it, and I'd buy it. So you guys check that out. Let me show you one more thing. I'd mentioned this, and cover your ears if it's going to bother you to hear a plug. I had mentioned some stuff I was doing for the channel. You guys know that over on the Instagram channel, it's more about style. It's more about, the whole outfit. And it's just it's more of a menswear and stuff. One of the things that I did on that channel was I teased when we hit 10,000 subscribers or followers, whatever you call it. I teased doing a shirt or something like that to just mark the milestone. So we did that. We crossed 10,000 a couple, really it was about a couple of months ago. And to make good on my word, I got with an artist and I created this shirt. So I don't know how many of you guys are following me over there too, but the gist of it is it's an extremely limited drop, meaning I've got I'll be honest with you, I've got like 150 shirts, 2 different designs. I've got 100 of this type of shirt, and I've got 50 of another, like a pocket tee that's a little bit more of an 80s vibe. But so I just wanted to show it to you guys here. There's going to be a link in the bio if you want to help support the channel and my boot addiction, or if you just think it's a cool shirt and you want it. The gist of it is this is our thing. Black Barn Social Club, curators of the coveted, and that I think that speaks for itself. It's the thing about men that are always on the hunt for the next thing. We're always on the hunt for the most, the sought after, the real, the rare, the refined, curators of the coveted. So if you want to support the channel, the link is down below. I think you go to my link tree. It's somewhere in there. There's going to be something that says Black Barn Social Club merch, and I would love to get you on and have you help support me in this addiction. You guys be blessed. Talk soon. I'm out.